Hi, I'm actress-singer Quinn Lemley, and you're watching The Artists Forum.
Hello and welcome to the Artist Forum. My name is Daniel Lynn Evans and I'm joined here today by the wonderfully talented Quinn Lemley, starring now in Burlesque to Broadway, currently playing every Monday in the month of November at the Cutting Room. So tell us a little bit first about the show, Burlesque to Broadway.
Well, Daniel, first of all, I have to get you, you're never complete without feathers, so I brought you a boa and me a boa.
Oh yes, oh purple,
right,
oh
so
my
that
favorite.
We're dressed up at the Artists Forum.
Yes, yes, of course. Now, is it over the neck or is it back around the shoulders?
Well, it depends. I mean, if you're feeling diva-like, you can put it over the shoulders. But if you're feeling sassy, it could be over the neck.
Okay, okay.
Either way.
Maybe I'll do. Can I do half and half?
Oh yes.
Maybe I feel like a sassy diva.
You are a sassy diva. A sassy divo.
Divo,
right?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, I like that.
Yes.
I don't think I've ever heard that, divo.
I know. Well, I just made up a new word.
Wonderful, wonderful. So, yes. So tell us a little bit about the show.
Well, we are just riding high. We opened last night at the Cutting Room, which is at 41 East 32nd Street between Park and Madison. And it was such a fabulous evening. The venue is just spectacular. And we are playing every Monday night in November at 8 o'clock.
Wonderful, wonderful. And I will say I saw the show last night.
I know.
And I was blown away. It was definitely not what I was expecting. I think burlesque, and I usually think, you know, like one person, you know, same costume the whole time. And it was I got the complete opposite. I got a full piece band and I got costume changes on stage.
Well, it's really a special opportunity for people to come out and see us, because usually we perform in casinos and performing arts centers. So we're usually on really big stages in big houses. And this is a wonderful opportunity to see the show up close and personal, because the Cutting Room is really intimate, and to see a huge production in such a small space is really something that you're not going to find very often in New York, anywhere, really.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, no, it's, I was also impressed by the amount of choreography. I was also not expecting that. So I guess that's, again, going back to the same thing. It's normally in a
It's usually in a big
space.
theater. Yes, David Eggers is our choreographer. He's Kathleen Marshall's assistant. He did Anything Goes and Nice Work If You Can Get It. He did the national tour of Nice Work If You Can Get It. And he's our choreographer for Burlesque to Broadway, which is fabulous.
Wonderful, and it was all very great. And I have great appreciation for anyone who can sing, dance, and act all at the same time and do it well. So it was great. I really had a great time.
And the jokes, there are lots of jokes.
Oh yes, very corny jokes, which is also a lot of fun.
Yeah, well, that's part of the whole burlesque experience, and because there were the baggy pant comics, and then the beautiful girls, and then there was usually a band. And we wanted to really integrate it and have 5 really strong, powerful, beautiful women that were singing, dancing, telling the jokes, wearing fabulous costumes. Wendell Goings at Rock of Ages did all of our costumes, and lots of sequins, feathers, and fans.
Yes, yes, of course. So you, of course, have been involved with the Artist Forum since back in its inception in the early 2000s. So we were just wondering, what have you been up to since then?
Oh my gosh, tons of things. My big thing is I was doing a show on the life of Rita Hayworth called The Heat Is On. We just played 54 Below, which is with a 12-piece big band, and it's the whole life of Hollywood and Rita Hayworth and Harry Cohn, Orson Welles, all of the greats that really were the staples of Hollywood. So we continue to tour that show in performing arts centers and casinos. And Burlesque to Broadway has just been, it's grown into this big show, and so we're touring, we're on the road when we're not at the cutting room on Mondays.
Right.
So we're going to Wisconsin and we're going upstate New York. So we're traveling a lot. We're trooping.
Yes, yes. Just like the old days of vaudeville when they used to, you know, it was 4 guys in a trunk.
Well, we're 5 girls and a 10-piece big band.
Right,
so
right, yeah.
that's what I think is going to be really surprising for people when they come to the cutting room to see a 10-piece big band, and all the orchestrations were done by Steve Rollins, who does Bette Midler's orchestrations.
Okay.
And I really wanted to tell the story of these women who went from burlesque to Broadway and beyond. It's not just a burlesque show. It's really how burlesque has touched us culturally and musically, in fashion, in humor. Women's empowerment.
Right, right, yes, exactly. So. And on that subject, you do talk a lot in the show about your grandmother.
Yes.
And how she was the inspiration really growing up. So just tell us a little more about that.
I grew up in Columbus, Indiana, and she's my father's mother, and she lived behind us, and so every day I'd run across the street and she'd tell me the stories of burlesque and Broadway and the movies and the variety show, and so I learned about all of the great music, you know, the stripper, David Rose's Stripper, and You Don't Own Me, Leslie Gore, and Boom Boom, just really diverse music. Cole Porter, My Heart Belongs to Daddy. I mean, it's really the American songbook, from the standards to R&B and pop and Broadway.
Yeah. So. Great, wonderful, and I also I loved how you talk about performing at your father's restaurant growing up. I'm sure anyone in theater has had their kitchen / stage that they've performed on as a child. Yes. So tell us a little more about that.
Well, my dad had a chicken and ribs restaurant called the Buffeteria, but we called it the Buffy. Right. And so I'd perform for all the customers, and they were, I would say it was a very diverse group of types, from Cummins Engine executives to the local flasher, Greasy Bob. And he would literally always flash. He'd stand up in the booth with his coffee and they'd say, "Oh, we've got to get Greasy out." So I'd perform for him.
Nice, nice.
Singing.
Oh, yes, yeah. There we go. Yes. And there is definitely a moment in the show where you do a number where you do a commercial for the Buffy.
And it's a true story.
That's what I wanted to ask. Yes. So that was actually a commercial.
All of these stories that I tell in the show, which are pretty outrageous, are true stories.
Wow, that's great. Yeah. So it was just you and the Buffy.
It was me and the Buffy
doing your little number for the. That's great. Yeah. I love that. I would have, if when I was a kid, I probably would have given my right arm to do something like that.
Oh, I was lucky because I was friends with the local DJ, so I was able to do it. But
great.
I was in the Bible Belt, so it was a little risque.
Oh yeah.
At the time.
Oh, definitely. Of course. Yeah, of course. So now going back, you did mention that you have the Rita Hayworth show. So I just wanted to speak a little bit about Rita Hayworth and like some of your other idols that you do mention in the show, and like sort of what kinds of inspirations did they give you to become the performer that you are today?
Well, in Burlesque to Broadway, well, first of all, Rita Hayworth is so well known for Put the Blame on Mame. And she is wearing the black strapless Jean-Louis gown with the long gloves, and all she does is take off one glove, and it's celluloid iconry. It's really amazing. It's one of the sexiest musical numbers ever. And that was really my interest in the art of the tease, because she didn't take anything off except a glove, but it's so evocative and sexy. And it really started in the mind, and these women, I wondered what Gypsy Rose Lee's act really was like. I mean, we all know the musical Gypsy, but really, what was her act like? She couldn't really sing, she couldn't dance, she wasn't really beautiful. Right. She didn't really take her clothes off. She used her mind and her banter back and forth. And so I researched all about Gypsy and her life, and I do little bits from her actual nightclub act, which you saw, the monologue before My Heart Belongs to Daddy. And Sally Rand, I mean, she was a dancer in Hollywood and couldn't get arrested, couldn't get hired. So she shows up at the World Fair, and she came as Lady Godiva on a horse with nothing on except a long blonde wig. And then she performed the fan dance. And we know Sally Rand for her fan dances. And she performed until her 70s. Oh, wow, yeah. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, these people came out of the Depression where women didn't work. They were using their minds, their creativity, their talent, thinking outside of the box to create a lot of them became legends.
Yeah,
so
that's great. So we do have a clip from the show. So do you have a little something you'd like to say about the clip before we show it?
Well, I'd love people to come to the cutting room Monday nights at 8 o'clock in November. It's a party. It's a celebration. It's just really, people leave feeling so empowered and positive, and you know that they've stepped into another world when they come to the show.
Great. All right. Yeah. So so here we go. We have a short little clip from Burlesque to Broadway playing at the Cutting Room every Monday night in November.
Hi, this is drag personality Linda Simpson, and you're watching The Artist Forum.
Hi, I am art director Gabrielle Gewirtz, and you are watching The Artist Forum.
I'm Kid Recordings label founder and artist manager Craig Roseberry, and you're watching The Artist Forum.
The Artist Forum. Get connected, be heard. The Artist Forum is a place where artists of all disciplines can network, collaborate, and exchange information and ideas. You want to know when to catch us? Well then log on to tvguide.com's local listing section. You can also see us live on the web via Manhattan Neighborhood Network's MNN.org. On the Artist Forum, you'll see interviews with New York City's emerging talents in theater, dance, music, the visual arts, as well as the written word. We'll jump the velvet rope to get interviews with entertainment industry's top insiders, as well as some of its underground talents. Expose yourself to the Artist Forum. Show us your work. Invite us to your performance. Do you have questions about the business? Do you need help better focusing on your career? Or maybe you just want to post information about an upcoming project? Well, log on to our website, theartistsforum.org. The Artist Forum, on the pulse of community activities and events. I'm Elliot Torres, and I'll see you on the Artist Forum.
Hi, I'm Dustin Lynch. You don't have to listen to country music to know that life can be full of drama. Some of it you just can't control, like your girlfriend running out on you with your best friend. But there's some drama you can skip, like the drama that comes with not having your high school diploma or GED. You just need to take that first step and find free classes near you. Go to yourged.org and start moving towards a brighter future and even your college degree. That's yourged.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Hey, this job looks perfect. It says you need people skills.
Check.
Driver's license.
Check.
And a high school diploma or GED.
Skip the drama. Get your GED.
I got that.
You are good to go.
Take that first step towards a better future and sign up for free classes now at yourged.org.
Don't look at me. Your hair's a bit frizzy today. Aww. You should pick that up.
Every day, kids witness bullying.
For you.
They want to help, but don't know how. Teach your kids how to be more than a bystander. Visit stopbullying.gov.
All right, you ready for some baseball trivia?
Let's do it.
What year produced the most no-hit games in the big leagues?
7 no-hitters in 1990.
Wow, that's right. Now a question that's not trivial. How many children will witness bullying this year?
Huh.
The answer? 3 out of 4.
75%?
That's
Wow.
right. How many of them will say something?
Kids want to help, but don't know how. Teach them how to stop bullying and be more than a bystander at stopbullying.gov.
Hart, what's going on? I'm leaving. Why? What did I do? Not enough. You constantly ignore me. You barely eat anything healthy. You're half as active as you used to be. The pressure is just too much. I quit. Okay, I get it. I'll do better. Just, please, don't leave. Okay. But remember, if I go, you go.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you. Uncontrolled high blood pressure could lead to stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range before it's too late.
Hey, Hard, what's this? That's my resignation letter. You're resigning? Why? Because you're constantly ignoring me. You're half as active as you used to be, and you eat stuff like this. You've been putting me under a lot of pressure lately. That's why I'm ready to quit. I forgot. I'll do better. Please, don't quit on me. Okay. But remember, it's not what you say. It's what you do.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you.
Let's go for a walk.
Uncontrolled high blood pressure could lead to a stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range before it's too late.
Wow, that was great. And I know from experience, I was there when it was filmed, and I had a wonderful time.
I know you should have come on stage and bumped and grind with us.
Yes, well, and that's another fun part of the show is the little audience participation part, showing the audience how to shimmy.
If the audience is good.
Yes, of course, if the audience is good.
Yes.
Would you like to give us a little snippet of that now, showing the audience how to shimmy?
Well, you can show.
You can show me.
I can show you. Can I stand here, or do I need to do it in my chair?
We'll just do it sitting.
So you're going to go shoulder, shoulder, and shimmy.
Yeah.
Remember Austin Powers and the Fanbots. You know, fire, fire, and fire away.
Nice, nice. So I want to talk a little bit about your training. So I know it mentions in the bio on your website that you trained in France at a very young age. So do you want to tell us a little more about that?
Well, I went to high school part of the time in France. My mom was studying, she was in the wine business.
Okay.
And so I was studying opera at the conservatory there. And then I came back and I went to Interlochen Arts Academy in Michigan. And then to NYU.
Oh, great.
So I went to Tisch.
Wonderful, wonderful. And then from there, did you begin a career in theater initially or in opera more?
No, theater.
Theater, definitely?
Theater. I came to New York and I fell in love with theater, musical theater, everything.
Yeah,
jazz.
like we all do.
Yes.
Were there any shows in particular that you did that really you feel like influenced you or pushed you or drove you to where you are now?
Probably my Rita Hayworth show the most. I mean, it's a powerful story about Hollywood and her journey, and so that really influenced me a lot.
Okay.
I love film and musicals on film. I film noir. I love all of that, and the fashion.
Yeah.
The music is so spectacular.
Well, and again with fashion, the costumes in your show are amazing. Would you like to sort of just elaborate a little more on those?
Well, what we did was Wendell Goings is my costumer from Rock of Ages, and when we put the numbers together, we thought sex is there's scenes, they're different. We play different roles in life. So we have the maid, you know, we do the cutesy things, we do the really powerful, ball-busting women, we do, you know, sassy, just, there are lots of different roles that women play in terms of seduction. And so the costumes reflect that. And it's a lot of sequins, a lot of feathers, a lot of beaded gowns, and a lot of powerful, iconic imagery in this show.
Yeah, and I really liked how both through all of Act 1 and Act 2, you never left the stage. Right. And you probably had at least 6 to 8 costumes per act. Yes. And every single one of them was changed on the stage. I thought that was great.
Well, it's part of the tease, because there's something seductive about seeing somebody, you know, unpeel out of a dress or put something on, and that's part of the tease of what burlesque was. It wasn't just about taking something off.
Right. Yeah, and that was another thing I really liked. It felt very classic. I've seen various burlesque style shows where sometimes they forget about the tease,
right,
and then it becomes about just actually getting undressed. Yeah.
Right. No, this is not. This is something that is appropriate for, I would say, anybody 12 and up. I mean, it's a very family-friendly show. It's a great date night. We have tons of women coming out as a great girls' night out, and they dress up all over the country. It's really exciting.
Yeah, the ladies sitting at my table both had big feather boas
Did they?
as well. Yes.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Well, that's what I love about this show. People get excited. It's like an event. It's a celebration. They dress up for us, and we dress up for them.
Yeah.
And so we really bring the audience into the show.
Yeah, and that's a really great thing to have, is like an interactive theater, especially in such an intimate space like the cutting room. It feels a little less like them and then us as the audience, and it's sort of like it's all as one.
Right.
So is that really what you were going for?
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, my roots have been in nightclub and cabaret and a lot of theater and musical theater, but I like that connection with the audience. It's not a fourth wall kind of show at all.
Yeah, no.
And the jokes are so corny. I mean, you have to look at the audience. You have to connect with them.
Right.
And they love it, you know.
Now there are 5 characters in the show.
Yes.
And you're the lead character, of course. So now tell us about the other 4. Are they the 4 girls? Are they friends of yours? How did you meet? How do you?
They auditioned for us.
Oh, they auditioned.
Just like any Broadway show, we have a casting director.
Okay.
And we are so lucky because they're so talented. They're very diverse. They each represent a different kind of woman and a different kind of sex appeal and intelligence and power in their characters as well as in the dancing.
Right.
And that's really what we were looking for, personality, and they're beautiful.
Right.
And they're talented. So, and we really have great chemistry on stage.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it was really great. With the Artist Forum is about connecting artists and whatnot. So, is there any sort of advice you would want to give as far as how to maybe network yourself advice that you can give to the audience of how to network yourself, or how to connect more to artists in this field, in this sort of theater burlesque style?
I think no matter what it is in life, I think that you have to go after your dream. And that's what our show is about following your dream, following your passion. It's about, you know, taking little steps and reaching out. You never know who's sitting next to you. And you never know who's going to be able to help you. So, you know, always be mindful of interacting with other people, because, and you be clear on your vision about what you want. I hear people want things, but they're ambiguous. You know what you're really clear about. And take one step after another. You have to knock on doors.
Right. Nice.
You know?
Great. So we always like to ask, are there any sort of future goals that you're looking for yourself, or any future projects on the horizon that you would like to mention while you're here?
Well, we plan to tour Burlesque to Broadway all across North America. We'd like to do an international tour as well.
Oh, great.
So playing in casinos and performing arts centers. So I hope people come down on Mondays in November at the Cutting Room, because it's a really special experience.
And the show has a website?
Oh yes, burlesque-to-broadway.com, or you can get tickets. Oh, we have these special promotional tickets for these 4 Mondays that we're doing.
Okay.
They're $20 and $30. Normally we're regular theater prices, so it's a promotion. We want to get people into the club, and so they can buy the tickets at thecuttingroomnyc.com.
Yeah.
And there's no way for $20 or $30 you could see a show like this.
No.
I mean, it's a first-class production.
Yeah, definitely. Lastly, I would just like to mention, I know you did touch on it a little bit before, but is there any advice you would like to give to any younger aspiring artists?
Younger?
Really?
Younger?
No, well, like, the smaller ones who would like to, eventually grow up and do what you're doing one day.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. That's sweet. Take practicing seriously. I think, that's really, really important. I think people think that it's something that you just go out and do, and people don't take their rehearsal process, because that's part of the creative journey. And develop relationships and create networks and follow your dreams.
Great.
Go for it.
Yeah. It's one thing I've always said about anything in show business is that if you didn't love it, you'd never make it. Right. Because if you didn't love it, you're not going to be putting in the amount of work that it takes. So I think,
well, we love every minute of it.
Yes,
we love
exactly.
it.
Even right here, right now.
Yeah, but it's the process, really. It's the process, and that's what the show is about doing and living your dream and being in the moment and connecting.
Yeah.
That's really what
great.
it's about.
Awesome.
With love.
Yes.
Yes.
With love. All right. Well, thank you so much for being with us here again.
Thank you.
Quinn,
thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Quinn Lemley is in Burlesque to Broadway, playing at the Cutting Room on East 32nd Street between Park and Madison.
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock, yeah. That's every Monday for the month of November. All right. And thank you for joining us. We hope you had a wonderful time, and we'll see you next time here on the Artists Forum.